Hello, collectors. Welcome back to the Four Collectors channel. I am John, the 3D 80s Kid, your host for today. So I did my best to try to arrange another interview with a great collector out in the community and multiple people, and I just couldn't pull it together. So I am giving you something different this week. And I am going to give you a glimpse into my what you might term insane YouTube watching. I have put together a presentation here of 50 channels that have less than 1,000 subscribers, of which I have watched at least one of their videos this month, which means I am watching even more than that because I have quite a few channels over 1,000 subscribers I'm watching as well. So you be the judge. Feel free to write in the comments you're nuts for watching this much YouTube collecting content, but that's what I do. I can't help it. So stick around, check it out.
Welcome to Four Collectors.
All right. So, as a channel that is currently less than 1,000 subs, trying to work on hitting that magic number, would be nice to get our StreamYard subscription paid for by YouTube. But I am throwing love out there as well with shout outs to channels with less than 1,000 subs. And so I'm going to walk you through the 50 channels I have watched a video really quickly. I will also provide their links down below. So give you a chance to possibly get exposed to more awesome collecting content that is out there in this YouTube space. And so let's get started. Here we go. So up first, I have got Four Leaf Cards, longtime member of the community, awesome community member, does lots of things, contests, VRs, and special things out there. And he recently actually got into the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame and needs some more love. Let's get him up over 1,000. So keep going here. And up next, we got Four Soft Corners. He is a vintage collector who tells us that all cards can be great cards, even if they have four soft corners, and shows some great cards out there. Recently completed a 1953 top set. Up next, we got 80s Collection. He is showing something a bit different out there. There is some real insane gets he has gotten. If you watch his top 100 cards in his collection, he is doing very rare relic cards and signature cards. So if you have any interest in those, go ahead and check out those. And let's get him some more subs. Up next, Automatic for the Collector, a newer channel in the community who does vintage baseball, some vintage football, and is a great guy. Go ahead and check him out. Basement Card Collector. This is someone who is in the TTM space quite a bit and is also working on some vintage card collecting now with a 1973 top set. And also a 49er fellow 49er fan like myself. So check him out. Cardboard History, a very new channel who has got some really great vintage cards and then all the way up to doing some modern as well. So Cardboard History. Clean Cheap Shots. Drew is a great community member. And if you have not watched his interview with, I believe the name was Eddie Watt, that is a classic of just hearing the insights of an old-time baseball player. And that was a great, I believe, 4-part series interview that I would highly recommend anybody watch over Drew at Clean Cheap Shots. Clemente Collector, obvious person in here. He's one of my closest friends in the hobby. Obviously collects an awesome set of Clemente cards. Now working on a Stan Musial run. Theo there. Collecting Maddox, exactly what the name implies. He is a huge Greg Maddox super collector, as well as in doing TTMs A few vintage pickups here and there, but a lot of it junk wax era, or boom era, however you want to call it, with Maddox and other Braves being a specialty there. Commenting collector Robert's biggest collecting item is unopened packs of non-sport cards, but he also dabbles in vintage multi-sport as well. He does some great editing stuff on his channel. Go ahead and check him out. Concrete Buddy George, he collects a very similar vein to me of doing vintage. He collects some interesting, really old items there, as well as really old vintage non-sport. So check out George over at Concrete Buddy. DK Cardboard Dougie, he does really interesting vintage cards, baseball, as well as some non-sport interesting sets. Has some specialty collections for Negro League players, and collects even all the way up to modern cards that he does with his kids, being Mets fans there close to New York City. D's collection, he is another vintage to modern collector, does baseball and football. Really great stuff on that channel. Newer channel within the last year as well. Godlike Collectibles does lots of shiny stuff as well as junk wax and vintage, as you see in some of the photos here. Lou has got a great channel going there. I'd highly recommend it. He's done some funny impressions on there as well, so check him out. Half Century of Collecting Sports Cards has an awesome vintage collection. He's one of those guys, I have the feeling we have yet to see even half of what he's got with as long as he's been collecting, but he has been showing some awesome things. So check that out. Hall of Fame Miner, a recently newer channel that I found, and is dealing with junk wax back to vintage cards, golden era, from what I've seen so far. So another good channel to check out. Iconic Baseball. I'd be shocked if you're watching this and not seeing Al's countdown, as he is approaching number 1 now. Only 3 spots left in his Iconic 100. Definitely should check out that list of players that he has profiled over the last, I believe, couple years, because those are once a week. So great stuff from Al on Iconic Baseball. Jason, Everyday Card Collector, another vintage baseball. He's thrown in some basketball as well. Lots of good stuff on his channel. He's just barely gotten started here, 17 videos, but great things from Jason, and he's been on a few live streams even, I've seen. So as well as being on 4 Collectors on screen. I think he came on for our trade night, so check out Jason over there. Jimroxton, a guy who put out one video that I happened to watch this month from 3 months ago. Don't know if he's going to keep doing it, but the first 2-minute video there was a great start. I hope he continues on, as he is a very long time collector. So fingers crossed that he puts out some more videos for us. Ken over at Nothing Fancy Collectibles has a lot of good vintage cards. Delves up into more modern stuff as well, but then also some magazines and stuff, other collectibles, hence the name with collectibles and not just cards. So lots of good stuff there. And clearly from the logo, he's also a coin collector. So if that is in your wheelhouse, I would recommend definitely checking that out. Legends of the Dugout. Dave is one of my friends in this hobby. I've appeared on his Unprepared and Live a couple times at least. when it's worked in my schedule, and I am definitely looking forward to meeting him in person at the National this year. He does great things on his channel. Definitely check out Dave. All right, Luke over at Bleecker Street Cards, a very new channel that has some very high level stuff with autographs. I mean, going for a signed 49 leaf set, and you see this top 10 cards in my vintage PC. It's a crazy list there that he has got. So hopefully we'll be seeing some more things. He's putting things out slowly at this point, but we'll see. wxstacks. I have to say it like that because that's how it is in the intro to his channel. Does some great editing. I love the energy in his videos, and it's just fun stuff. Does non-sport, multi-sport. He is collecting the MAC there, the Mid-American Conference cards is his focus, as he was a college basketball player, I believe, for Bowling Green. That's part of that conference. So great stuff on that channel. Highly recommended. Math Bowler is a guy that is in the TTM world as well as the vintage card world. So lots of awesome stuff to see on his channel. Been around a long time, clearly, with 785 videos. So that's insane that he's only got 757 subs. So he hey, let's get that guy well over 1,000. He deserves it with that much work in on YouTube. So check him out. Mets Collector, a very new channel with throwing some vintage cards. It's okay if he's a Mets collector. I'll forgive that, but with my Braves being my team, but go ahead and check out what he has to offer us. Hopefully we'll be seeing some more. It's just very early in this channel's history at this point. So ookiechillson, a great community member, awesome commenter on live streams. Want this guy to appear on video. Mookie, if you're ready, let me do an interview with you, please. Come on. He has got some great humor mixed in with his videos. I love people that have a little bit of a snarky edge, and he has definitely got that in spades. So highly recommend ookiechillson. Old Sarge Collects. Dan, recently subject of collector to collector video that I did a little while back, has an amazing collection that he hasn't quite shown all of it, but starting to reveal it. I pulled some of the stuff. He felt that he just shouldn't show things that everybody shows that essentially are pretty special cards that everybody loves, and why not show them, Dan? So Old Sarge Collects, highly recommended. Pastor Craig's Vintage Cards, another newer channel in the space, did appear on our trade night live stream recently. Has got a great vintage collection going. Long-time collector and a really nice guy. So definitely check out Pastor Craig. Peacemaker, another very new channel. This point, I watched his introductory video recently, and looks like he's off to a great start. So long time collector, vintage to modern, of baseball cards. So psyched on baseball cards. This is a guy who is another one who's been around forever, has a ton of videos made, and yet only has 760 subs. He's actually been in the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame for a number of years and deserves some more subs. Come on, people. Let's give Tony some more love here and get him to 1,000. All right, return to collecting. Darren, he is a little bit all over lately, doing some collaborations with Greg over at Midlife Sports Cards and doing some great stuff on his channel. He's got a top 50 countdown going. You should definitely check out. And he is doing some awesome card collecting with his whole one card a month that are just really special cards that he has been adding with like DiMaggio and Jackie Robinson. So highly recommend you check out Darren. Rick Acosta, Dodger card collector, another great vintage collector. Congratulations again, sir, on completing a 1941 play ball set. That is spectacular. So he has got an extensive vintage collection, great stuff. And I can forgive the fact that he's a Dodger fan as well, because he's just a really nice guy. So up next, Rocket Rick J18. This is a guy who has possibly the most post-war sets of anybody out there complete, as I believe he has every top set except for 52. He's got every Bowman set complete. He's even got one or two of the play ball sets pre-war complete. Long time just obsessive collector. Rick has just amazing cards, so definitely give him a look. Scoots Collectibles, another fairly new channel that is doing modern and then back to vintage as far as baseball collecting. Definitely some good stuff going on there. I'd highly recommend checking out Mike over at Scoots Collectibles. Sexton's Kentucky Cardboard definitely needs more subscribers than this, as he has got some really awesome stuff. Golden era, pre-war, really good collection, and he is doing a project which I think he is a bit farther along than I am as well, of trying to collect at least one card of every player Hall of Famer, and has a lot of good ones to show. So highly recommend checking out his channel. SFI Sports Card, Sammy, another one of my close friends, as really good vintage cards, junk wax cards, a little bit of multi-sport going on. But one of the most amazing things with him is how much data he is able to pull off the top of his head. I feel like that was one of my things I could do a few years back, but I don't know. I guess age is getting to me, and I just can't do it with the same ability that he has to just pull facts and data off the top of his head. And I'm astounded at his encyclopedic knowledge. So give him a look. Sammy knows SFI Sports Cards, and while most of us have a face for radio and a voice for Charlie Chaplin movies, this guy has an awesome radio voice. I'd swear he could definitely be a storyteller on the radio with the voice he has as well. So, Staven Sports Cards. This one is a little bit different, because this is a guy that is only in his mid-20s and yet has such an extensive knowledge of vintage baseball cards. It is amazing. He is definitely someone that has spent the time in researching sets and players, and just an encyclopedic knowledge of like all these obscure baseball sets. He's basically a junior Mangini on pulling the data on all the different rarer, scarce card sets. So I'd highly recommend checking out Dom over at Staven Sports Cards. And the battery, Carlisle Rude. This guy is a super collector of Braves franchise cards from every era. His goal is to collect every Braves card ever made, at least regular issue. I'm not sure how far he's going in the oddball realm or not, but he has quite an amazing Braves collection. And he does a really nice presentation style with his videos and the editing, and as far as showing the cards really nicely on screen. So definitely recommend the battery. The Cincinnati Kid is a newer channel that is a great community member, and lots of vintage baseball collecting. Golden era is the prime focus, but like most of us, he did grow up in the junk wax era, so I'm sure he's got plenty of those as well. And another great channel to check out, since the Cincinnati Kid, which make sure on this one you get the underscores there, because if you do the search for the Cincinnati Kid without that, You're going to end up with the Robert Redford movie, I believe, is all you'll end up with in your search. So. The Detroit Collector. This is a younger guy that is in vintage here and has an amazing set of. I'm blanking now. It's an oversized pre-war set that he has got an extensive amount of. But they are just gorgeous cards that he is collecting, and obviously primarily a Detroit Tiger fan. But definitely check out the great stuff he is showing there on Detroit Collector. The Drew, a Vintage Legacy, another one of my closer friends, full disclosure. But he is one of the best storytellers in our card community. He is just great as far as he has a really big collection that he has kept, for a number of years. He's not highly active with acquiring more, but he's got such great stories to tell about the things he already has and such a great card space to show them off in. And I'd highly recommend listening to some of Drew's storytelling. It's a treat. So check it out. The showing me clearly we can see he is into the pre-war vintage big time, as well as then the Perez steel postcards, and has a cute dog there. So lots of good vintage type collecting from the showing me, and I'd highly recommend checking him out. Jesse over at Think Blue 77 is another guy that goes modern all the way back in vintage, some pre-war even. So, another Dodger fan that, we can forgive that, being that he's a great guy. So, but highly recommend checking out Think Blue 77, which he's been around way too long here with 218 videos to only have 400 subscribers. So please send him some more love, folks. All right, Video Guy 316, a newer channel, kindred spirit to my personal channel with lots of cool edits and humor built in with the edits. So I like what Doug's doing there. Multi-sport, a little bit collector, with a vintage tinge to quite a bit of it. So great stuff over at Video Guy 316. Vintage Card Steve, another person that I was a subject of one of my recent collector to collector videos. A great community guy that's been around a really long time and is not afraid to share his opinions, and has the occasional opinionated rant video here and there, but definitely hugely loyal to this great community and gives lots of shout outs to other folks. So give some love over there to Vintage Card Steve. Vintage Dave T, another very new channel. So I guess we've only seen a glimpse of what he has. He's a very long time collector. He's got pre-war, golden era, vintage that we've seen so far. So let's get him more subscribers, with him only at 38, and welcome him to the community. All right, Vintage Goats. He is a young collector who doesn't put himself on camera, so I'm not sure how young, but the voice definitely sounds young. So, and he is collecting vintage cards, which definitely we want to encourage the next generation to be in this space with us. Definitely throw your support over to Vintage Goats. All right, Vintage on Vintage. Steve has been around a bit, doing mostly golden era collecting, and picks up some great stuff. A little bit of multi-sport as well. I've seen some basketball and football on his channel as well, and great guy in the community. So Vintage on Vintage, another one where you're going to definitely need to click on the link, as it is tough to find with that name typed in. So, all right, Vintage PSA and More is exactly what it says it is. There is lots of vintage cards on display, does lots of PSA returns, so you can see the grading of those cards. And it's just one of those things where I like to see people reel off lots of cards at times. So if you like someone showing lots of different cards of vintage, then there's another channel to check out. And Vintage Sanctuary, the last channel, and another one of my great friends in this hobby, the one person I do have the pleasure of getting to see in person, as he is located near me in the Portland, Oregon metro area, and has some amazing stuff. And if you watched my video recently of where his eye appeal, mastery is just off the charts. Mostly due to his pickiness and patience, which I probably lack. So, definitely recommend Vintage Sanctuary. He's just got a smooth, relaxing style to his videos that is very calming and, great to see. So, there it is. That is, the channels that I have watched with less than 50 subs just this month. Am I nuts? Am I insane? Am I wasting my time with this? I don't know. But it's what I love. I love this community and I love watching everyone's videos. If you think I'm nuts, go ahead and say so in the comments. But I'd really hope that everybody checks out some more of these channels and gives them some more subs and more love, because this community is really about the people, and the cards are there for us to all enjoy together. So with that being said, thank you, collectors, for watching, and I will see you next time.